Well, the good news is we just started the recording.
Oh, good.
Okay. How is everyone? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. I want to go through just a couple of housekeeping pieces, and then I want to hear from you guys a good bit. Okay. If you are new to the program, let's say within the last 2 weeks or so. So if that's the case, then I would love to meet with you, and I'll make this announcement over the announcements page Monday at 1. So every other week, my plan right now is to do Monday at 1. Every other week will be a PC orientation. So that's for people that either are new to the program or just want to make sure they're taking advantage of all the tools, right? And have a kind of a good starting place, right? Maybe we'll schedule our one-on-ones. I want to just kind of go through an overview of the program once you're in, because the program is just one piece of your, success plan. And there's a ton of people that are trying to pour into you right now. So I want to help make it more palatable. Number 2, the other Monday at 1, so every other week, we're also going to be doing kind of a class. I'm going to kind of be using that as a recruiting tool, but you guys are always more than welcome to attend. The content on that is probably going to be around 10 steps to 6 figures. And for those that were on the call a couple of days ago, you kind of got a glimpse of what that looks like. It's just a class that I'm kind of writing and developing right now. Okay. For Bold Pivot, let's talk about that really fast. Is anyone not enrolled right this moment?
I'm not yet.
Okay. What I would love for you to do, I believe very, very strongly in this. Okay. This is a class that's going to help develop your mindset and strengthen your mindset. And it is also going to get you into the appropriate activity, particularly in this environment. If you are not able to enroll, meaning if you're not able to afford it, reach out to me privately and I will see what I can do to make that possible. We've got a couple of people that have made contributions to essentially finance that opportunity for some people. So just reach out to me privately if you're having an issue or if that's your main concern, and I will do my best to alleviate that concern. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, I've got this little group in here. Hey, oh, by the way, Kathy, are you doing the coffee this morning?
Yes.
Why don't you tell us what that is?
Okay, so we're Aubrey has to be somewhere, or he and Aaron have a Southeast meeting today. So he asked Susan Coral. He asked us to host it yesterday, but I had to be at my mom's to help her with something yesterday. So that's why y'all didn't see me yesterday. Anyway, we're just doing a coffee with us to talk about how we can help you, new people, and that, it's just to introduce us to anybody who doesn't know us and who doesn't know that we're the new mentors and can help you. We're on call. You need to have our phone numbers in your phone, and anything other than a legal, like a broker question, we can help you. So it's just to talk about us and what we're there for you for.
Right. A good example of that would be, I don't know how many days to put in the due diligence period.
Right.
Who do I call? Do I call Kathy or do I call Melba?
I don't know how many.
You'd call Kathy. Somebody is backing out of the deal at the closing table and we're fighting over the earnest money. Question, do we call Kathy or do we call Melba? There you call Melba. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the hairy legal stuff, Melba, and for the kind of stuff that's kind of more in line of the training stuff, or you want to double check something, that's going to be either Susan or Kathy. So I want to just take a quick minute to congratulate you and thank you for your willingness to help and to be a leader in the office. And I'm going to remind everyone how caring you are over time. So thank you. Okay, let's talk about the one thing for a second. Okay. One of the ideas that I've kind of been sprinkling at you guys each day, but I haven't really been overwhelmingly firm with you about, is this idea of a daily intention or a one thing. So what I'd like for you to do is at the beginning of every day, and maybe you either have it prior to this phone call, or maybe you hear something during this phone call that gives you clarity on what your priority for the day is. Notice how I said priority, singular, one, right? Rather than your priorities. I don't even know where that word came from. Part of it doesn't even make sense, right?
Yeah.
So a priority is one thing, right? Once you accomplish the one thing, then you can ask yourself the same question again and determine what is the next most important thing you need to do that needs to be time blocked and needs to be accomplished. So what I'd like for you to do is every day to kind of look at your business from the 5,000 foot view and say, what is the most important thing I can do today in my business such that doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. That's the focus and question of the one thing. So a lot of times that might be, I need to book an appointment today, or I need to add 3 people to my database today, or I need to make 15 contacts, or whatever it may be. And then nothing else should get in the way of that until it's accomplished. I'm sure you guys have all experienced this feeling before, when you know you have something that's really important to do and you kind of want to do a bunch of other stuff first, yet you somehow power your way through and do the most important thing first, and it gets done like pretty early in the day. Doesn't it feel like incredible? I got to be honest with you, that first day, so Monday, when we opened up the room for group lead gen, I booked 3 appointments before like 10:30, and I was like on clouds the rest of the day, right? The following day, I did it again, and I told the leadership team, and they're like, yeah. I mean, it got them excited, right? Yesterday, kind of had a crappy day. I rescheduled a couple people that didn't show up for an appointment, and this morning I've already booked one, so I'm feeling good, right? So it's that is what drives you. I mean, once you know, if you do it without getting clarity on the fact of how important it is, sometimes the success of it or the completion of it doesn't feel as good as it ought to. But when you have a moment and you say, I need to set an appointment today. I told Bill in the group I was going to take a listing this month. So if that's going to happen, I got to set an appointment today. And then you go set the appointment, man, you feel like a rock star. Okay. So every day, what I'd like for you to do is just kind of look at your calendar, look at your goals, your family goals, your 4-in-1, your business goals, and say, what is the one thing I need to accomplish today? And go do it. And then you just have this sense of peace that'll take you your energy for the rest of the day. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I might put you guys on the spot here in a couple moments. I'd like to hear what your one things are for the day.
I'll tell you,
Go ahead, Kathy.
I've got to talk to 25 people today. On Monday and Tuesday, I talked to 25 people because I knew I was going to be out of commission on Wednesday, not talking to people. But so I've got to talk to 25 today and 25 tomorrow. And so between 9:30 and 10, I'm not going to be able to talk to anybody. And so it's going to push my day back. I've got to be somewhere at 10:30. And then, so I've got a lot to accomplish today around my schedule.
Good. Well, the only way you know that is by having a schedule and reviewing the schedule, right? I know we're talking about basic stuff here, but if that's a purposeful business. Monday you show up and you say, I'm going to be out Wednesday. I'm going to need to double down Monday and Tuesday. Then you say, okay, Thursday I've committed to do something for the office from 9:30 to 10. Then I've got another commitment. I've got to purposefully rearrange my calendar so that I can get my big things done. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, who else wants to share their one thing? Just for today. Come on now.
Mine's also about making calls and making contacts.
How many are you going to make, Pam?
15.
15. Beautiful. Will you tell the group? You too, Kathy. Will you tell the group when you finish it?
Oh, yeah, on WhatsApp. Yeah, sure will.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you. Who else wants to share? What's the one thing you've been staring at for years? Just do it today. Let's get it done.
I'm finishing a more detailed checklist of all the onboarding stuff, because doing the foundation building, I think is more confusing than it needs to be.
Okay.
Because you have a checklist of items, but the checklist doesn't include all the steps of the items. So, like, it says do the 66-day challenge, for example.
Okay.
But it doesn't let me check anything off till those 66 days are done, or the 66 things are done. So for me to feel accomplished, I need to see that I'm accomplishing things.
Yep.
So I'm making what I feel is, for me, a more effective checklist that is, I can see at a more micro level.
Okay. Good. Good.
Because otherwise I feel like I haven't done anything when I know I've done things.
Perfect. Whatever that's the beauty of everyone feels accomplished in a number of different ways. So I do have some, I don't want you to get so caught up in the weeds of micro checklists that you forget to make calls, but you're in a unique situation here. I understand that. So
and my goal right now, honestly, isn't making calls. My goal, my lead gen, is really cleaning up my contact list, really filtering things out, getting into command correctly. And I am calling people, but it looks different. And so for me, my lead gen is more of, I am really trying to get my database integrated, because I have about 1,500 contacts in my phone, about I would say 200 some are combined contacts of married couples, so I'm separating those out.
Yep.
And so from my phone, I've always kept my contacts in Yahoo so that I never lose them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been exporting my Yahoo contact file and then looking at that list and cleaning it up. And then I'll export it again and really clean it up. Because I had so many of them that I needed to split out, or so many that I needed to combine. And then once that's done, I want to put it, just be able to copy the columns into the command format for uploading, and then have that there so that when I really am starting to call people, I have a clear view of what I need to ask, what I need to get, as I'm building the ability to then, in the future, can that.
Yeah, that the reason for this exercise is to say, what is going to make either the biggest difference in my business or the biggest difference in my mindset, right?
Yep.
So if after today you've accomplished all of that, then you'll have a new task to tackle tomorrow, and you'll feel that much more organized and that much more of a business owner, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, Bill, I'm going back to using my daily success list that you
Yeah.
gave out, because I stopped using that for about a week and a half, and I kept wondering, why am I every morning struggling to find people to call? And it's because I used to prepare every night and list everybody that I'm going to make contact with the next day, and I stopped doing that. So last night I started back again, and I just wrote out all the 20 people that I'm going to contact so that I would get my contacts in for the day. And then at night, I've actually been getting on my husband's Zoom calls. I've made him sort of introduce me to new people while he's on a Zoom call.
Mhm.
Just like, hey, introduce me to who you're talking to.
That's
So,
brilliant. That's brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. So I'm going back to my daily success sheet so I can
I appreciate
know
you
who I'm
bringing that up.
calling.
There's a document called the Daily Success List. I think I called it. That's in
Yes.
Google Drive, and that is a editable file, so you can pull it out of the Google Drive and tweak it according to what your needs are. Right. I think that's great to print off. A stack of those, and that way it feels good to check stuff off. I mean, there's stuff that I do that wasn't in my calendar or on my list that I'll actually write on the list so that I can check it off. Like, that's kind of messed up. That's how the brain works though, right? We feel a whole lot more accomplished when we can check things off. So every day I want you to think about, what is that daily intention? What is that one thing that I can knock out today that'll make me feel more accomplished and more organized and move the ball forward in my business? Okay. Did I offer a couple of times for some additional 15-minute just kind of cram sessions, if you will?
Like individual?
Yeah.
Yes.
What offerings did I give you?
I'm not about the details with that. I'm just about that we could do it.
Okay. So before we get there, I want to remind you the big group session is today at 1 and the launch session is today at 2. I am going to need to pull back my the Zoom meeting for just this morning. For the open lead gen, I've got 2 things that I need the room for. But please continue to do it, and you guys can actually have the room for the next like half hour or so. Actually, you can have the room until 10. And after 10, I need it back. But please continue to do your calls. Okay, let's go through the calendar really quickly. Okay, so today at 1 is the big group session. Today at 2 is the launch mastermind. And the growth mastermind, remember, we moved to 3:30 on Friday to accommodate for that CE class, the appraisal CE class. So I'd like to go ahead and offer, let's say 3 o'clock, 3:15, and 4:30 and 4:45 on Monday, the 27th. So if you want one of those slots just for a quick little 15-minute kind of power meeting, let me know. We'll put that on the calendar. And I can do the same thing starting at 3 o'clock every 15 minutes on Tuesday if you want to reserve a spot up until 5. So what my goal is to kind of give you something like a quick assignment so that you can, again, try to make some hours, right? Those hours anywhere. The answer to that, Jan, would be no. We want to, the short answer is no on that one. The purpose of these 15-minute kind of power meetings essentially is to make sure you have the appropriate tools to run your business. So for example, I'll sit down and say, okay, how big is the database? Do you have the economic plan in place? Do you know how many appointments you need to hit your goals? Do you have your 135 in place? Let's look at it together for a couple of minutes. Just sign up on the WhatsApp group. Okay, or just shout out your time route and I'll write it down.
3 o'clock Monday.
All right, Kathy's 3 o'clock Monday. Okay, very good. And these are like, short, like, you go to the doctor, you say, hey, my ear hurts, and they take your pulse and all that stuff, and they say, here's your medicine. See you later, right? It's like quick little doctor's visit. We're going to make sure everything is moving along. Anything that's on fire, we're going to put out the fire, and we're going to give you a little homework so that you can, continue to be purposeful about your business. One thing that I've noticed when I'm talking to some agents outside of the market center, gotcha. Tuesday at 3 is Stephanie. Okay. One of the things that I've noticed when I'm talking to outside agents is almost 100% of outside agents are running entrepreneurial businesses. This concept of E to P. Okay. E is entrepreneurial, purposeful is the P. P is purposeful. What that means is that, are you just kind of waking up and receiving whatever you're gonna get, right? Or are you actually taking steps every day to be to control the amount of time you spend working, to control who you speak to and when you speak to them, to control how many people you speak to? Do you have goals that you're checking things off? Are you constantly studying the marketplace? Are you going, if you don't have a lead, are you just sitting around wondering why you don't have a lead? Or are you going out and finding one, right? And what I tend to find is the quantity of closings that an agent has is simply dictated by how many of their friends reach out to them each year and want them to do business. Well, that's incredibly reactive, and you can't control your income. And it's virtually impossible to set goals because you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. You can say however many times you want to close, I want to close 30 units, but if you're not going to go out there and attack it, you're just going to close whatever comes to you. And that might not be enough to support your goals and your dreams and your family, right? And it might not be enough to keep your attitude sharp. And so I'll just go ahead and bluntly say it. We got to get purposeful about our businesses. I'm going to say something, and I don't mean to scare anyone here, but I want to make sure you understand what I'm going to say. On my coaching call yesterday, myself and my coach, we estimated the percentage of agents that will not be in the business in a year. And my estimate was about 2/3. The normal attrition rate is around 30%. Okay. I suggested that it would probably be a little bit more than double that will not be in the business if we end up in a shift with coronavirus and 20 million people unemployed. Okay. My coach, she said 75%. So if you are running an entrepreneurial business, it's probably not going to work. You're going to have to get super purposeful. And I only say that because the people that run highly efficient, purposeful businesses have lives worth living, right? And that's what we're supposed to do here. Businesses worth owning, lives worth living, right? Careers worth having. I don't want you just to receive whatever you receive. I want you to go out there and seize the market share that you desire so you can have the world you want, right? And the people that wake up every day and got a plan and they read what they need to read, they look at their 411, they know exactly what the metrics are they got to hit, they're going to blow it out of the park. But every single day I talk to agents that have no idea that stuff. And I feel like I'm on this personal mission to re-engage these agents that had a dream when they signed up for real estate school, yet they're not making it work. Yet they still have the dream, right? So how do we take these agents that you might be included in that?
A dream. So
How do we take this agent that's still got these dreams, that wants to accomplish all this stuff, that wants to provide for their family and vacation and save and retire early and all that? How do we make sure that they do the right stuff every single day so they can get there? Because if they're left to their own devices and they don't have the appropriate support system around them, and they don't have the people saying what needs to be said around them, then they're just going to coast if they're lucky. Does that make sense? That's why it's so important to talk about these numbers, right? So please, give me your numbers. Numbers are due yesterday. Please don't make me chase you down for them. If they're zeros, just put a 0. Okay, that is what it is. If they're zeros, then that is an awareness that you need to do a little bit more work, probably a lot more work. Okay, I don't want to lecture. I just want to remind you that we're in unprecedented times. There are millions of people filing for unemployment every day. It's going to get harder and harder to build your business. And I want to give you guys as much ammunition as I possibly can to do it. Okay? What are we thinking? Am I talking crazy?
I'm thinking that's more business for me.
That's right, because Kathy Ray runs a purposeful business. Right? And you put your head down and you do what you're supposed to do and you make your contacts and you book the appointments and you service the people like they deserve to be serviced, you're going to crush it. You're going to crush it. Okay. Does anyone, I know sometimes it's hard to hear this stuff. If you're having a challenge, speak to your accountability partner, speak to me, speak to Kathy or Susan. Let's address it as quickly as we can. Okay. But I'm not, I didn't take this role because I wanted to see a bunch of people run entrepreneurial businesses. I want to give you all the tools and resources necessary so you can go create the life that you were dreaming of when you said, I'm going to quit some job and I'm going to go do it all myself and start a business. Okay. Any business that you pick, by the way, it's the same. Find clients, service clients, stay in touch with clients. Find clients, service clients, stay in touch with clients. The biggest difference is we make more money than most of them. Right? So anytime you want to quote start a business, this is what it looks like. Find clients, service clients, stay in touch with clients. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. I'll keep this room open until 10. Please report your numbers. If you are behind in reporting your numbers, please update them. If the number is 0, that's okay. I mean, it's not necessarily okay, but I want you to write 0 anyway. This last tab at the bottom is the 16th of April to the 22nd of April, okay? And if you are interested in supporting Kathy, which I highly recommend, I will not be offended if you hop off of this call and go support Kathy and Susan. So thank you again, everyone. I'll see you shortly.
Thanks.